In Geneva, we have an event that I really like to shoot. It's fascinating. It starts early in the afternoon of a Saturday. People are coming from everywhere. There is plenty of music and you see them. It's really colorful. I'm Christian from Vision 6D, and now I'm going to show you the detail of one of the participants. And here, every year we see increases in the level of the costume. And what I did, it's that I used from OBS the studio mode, where you could see that I had one scene that was streamed. It's the one that we saw on the right. And there was another scene that was ready to be streamed, but I could still do some adjustment. And then I did my transition, and from the moment the transition is done, the diffusion is the new scene. You activate the studio mode by simply going into the control zone and clicking on studio mode. On the right side is what is called the program. It's what is currently streamed or recorded. On the left side is the preview. It's the scene that I'm preparing or the one that I'm going to put live or switch to. In the window that is the program here, it's what we are really streaming. During that time, I can here in the preview part select the scene. You see that I've selected scene 6 while I'm diffusing the scene 5. And I can bring in some changes that I would like. From the moment that I have or that I am preparing those changes here, you don't see any effect on what is streamed. That is to say that I can bring in any modification before to diffuse this scene or change or switch to this scene, but I preferred how I was standing on the right side. So soon, and I can say, now let's decide that with transition, we want the new scene to be streamed. So I come here, transition, and here we go. We see that now I have here the new scene that is diffused, streamed, while the two scenes were swapped one with the other one. I'm now streaming a scene and I would like to prepare a new one. For that, I'm going to duplicate the scene 5 and I'm going to entitle it scene 7, and the media I'm going to call them media 3. So I'm doing this while the diffusion is on. I position the scene sequence just for me, and I'm coming here and I'm going to add a source, a media source, and I'm taking a media source that exists. It's the media dancer. So I say okay here, and I have now the media dancer which is here, and I need to stop in this window the media lake parade, and I'm going with this a bit down that we see that we'll have this media. You see a particularity of OBS. It's when you are inserting a new media source with videos, it's not displaying the content. So it's difficult to see what you are really going to get with this. Anyway, we are going to go through the transition to see whether it's right that I have a new scene that will become active. So it's the case. You see here my media with the dancer is starting. You might notice one thing, it's that the image here is quite small. So could I correct this while I'm still streaming? Yes. For this, I'm taking the preview, and you see that now we see the video content being displayed. So I can here come, choose the transformation, and into the transformation go to fit the screen, and we see that we have here an image that has become larger takes all the screen, and I can now directly do the transition without any waiting time. So I have now an image that is corrected and is directly inserted into the stream. We can perform some other types of transitions. Here with the cursor, you see that I can slowly transit from one image to the other one. I'm choosing the speed of the transition. I can also add another type of transition. For this, I go into quick transition here and I will take slide. So I've added that type of transition. Let's test it. And yes, we had that sliding movement left to right. With the studio mode, there are also some settings that you can change. To find them, you go into general, you go down, and you have the options from the studio mode that are here. One that is interesting, for example, it's to enable the portrait vertical layout. And we will see now what it exactly means. We see that the screen has been reduced and we have really a vertical mode in which we can work. I'm going to reduce this, and one of the usage, for example, it's that in this way you can work with more space, more free space here in your environment. The studio mode in OBS is really something interesting. When you are streaming, you see that you can give a look at the next scene, you can check it, you can prepare a new scene from scratch, or you can even bring corrections. These are some of the actions that the studio mode enables me when I'm doing streaming. It's Christian from Vision 6D. I have a great pleasure to exchange with you and to give you those information. Don't forget to subscribe, some likes, and it's my pleasure to see you again. Bye-bye.